Yeah, we won't count our chickens too early. The past 2 seasons we've had good starts and then sort of fallen away towards the back end. So we'll take it game by game. Obviously, there are still areas where we can improve with bat and ball. So yeah, just game by game and try and get as many wins as we can before that playoff time.
If I could just jump in, what do you think is put you guys in this position this season?
I think just doing the simple things well. If you look at the past, we've had quite explosive players. Sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. There's been a lot more consistency this year in terms of executing what we want to execute and planning from that point of view. So I think just doing the simple things well and playing well at home as well contributes a big part to that.
You've been here all 3 seasons, but you have 2 new additions in Danish squad again and Joburg. Can you just tell us what have they added completely to the squad?
Yeah, the first no-brainer is tons of experience. We've got World Cup wins. I think DK actually played in the first T20 game for India, if I'm correct. So a wealth of experience and a lot of ability that goes with that as well. So you can't sort of look past what they can bring to the team. Obviously, we've got a lot of young and exciting players, but what they bring to the team is something that you only get through playing loads and loads of cricket.
Bjorn Fortuin, can you talk a little bit about your success in terms of how well you've done in Paarl over the last 3 seasons, and especially in the power play, and just whether you think that can translate? I know you don't know the Champions Trophy squad, but for example, going forward for a side like the national team.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a 2-part answer. I've played here quite a bit now, so I've sort of tailored a lot of my game plan towards playing in conditions like this. I wouldn't quite call it subcontinent conditions, but it definitely lends itself towards that type of game plan. Whether that translates to international form or that's not something that I can comment on right now, but keeping things simple is a big part of doing well here. You've got big boundaries, you've got massive wind leading to one side of the field. So just sort of keeping the percentages in your favour goes a long way.
Bjorn, can you just talk a little bit about David's captaincy?
Yeah, I think David himself would admit that the captaincy was a bit strange for him in the first season, and he's sort of grown into that the past 2 years. Obviously, having experienced guys like Joss in the past 2 seasons, this season with Ruti and DK, there's a lot of experience that he can lean on. And then himself, he's played almost 500 games, so from a game plan point of view, he's pretty sound. He's not a loud guy that would sort of shout at us, but he's got his own way of leading. So yeah, he's quite good in that.
Bjorn, exactly now, halfway through the competition, it's gone through so quickly. For someone like you who's kind of played across the first 2 seasons, there's been changes amongst all 6 franchises. What would you say is the difference into season 3? And can you just chat a little bit about how different the level of competitiveness is in this season?
Specifically our team.
No. In the tournament in general.
So a lot of the guys that I've spoken to, especially the overseas, they do say, the common consensus is this is probably the second best league compared to IPL and all of those things. So the standard has definitely improved. I'm not sure why you guys follow domestic cricket, but the standards do improve season on season. The more experienced guys get playing at higher levels. And that sort of translates to every team's strength. The first 2 seasons, you would sort of get teams that would languish at the bottom. But the last 2 seasons, I mean, anybody can beat anybody on any day. So yeah, it's quite strong at the moment.
With the crowds here in Paarl are always fantastic. I mean, how much does that encourage you as a team? Is that really like the 12th man almost?
Yeah, no, they're very passionate. The nice thing is that they're actually quite knowledgeable as well. So they do appreciate small bits of cricket here and there. You certainly hear it when you're not doing well, which is a bit of extra motivation as well. But yeah, the vibe here is incredible, and in the future I do hope that we can play playoff games here at the back end of the tournament. It would be quite cool to eventually have a home final if something like that happens, and for something like that to be staged over here. So yeah, it's incredible.
Last question, please, Bill.
Bjorn, you spoke about domestic cricket, and obviously there are lots of your colleagues in the line side or who don't play this tournament. What do you think they miss out on if they're not part of an event like this?
There's quite a few factors to that. Obviously, from a physical point, staying busy, workloads, that sort of thing. I think there's a lot to gain from being a part of these change rooms as well, from an experience point of view, from a knowledge point of view. As fellow domestic players, we try our best to sort of take that back into our domestic setup. But being around these quality guys, you can't really replicate that, if that makes sense. So I reckon that's probably the biggest part that they do miss out, is the small little 1%ers that could take a game to the next level.